My mama always told me that crazy is as crazy does, and I just thought I would share that with all of you. Thank you, Forrest. Appreciate that. Anyway, I'm going to get back to my show. So, I don't know what I'm calling this. Have no idea. I've tried to do this show, I don't know, 3-4 times now. And generally, it's not one of the better viewed shows, but I think it's always quality information. So we're going to go for it again, rebrand it, kind of cover it from a couple different angles. Before I get into it, though, I wanted to cover one quick freebie. Like I've said before, I like to throw some of these in every once in a while. It's just because, like, right when I was about to start recording this popped into my head, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of a good point. I don't know how many of you, and this might be more of a Western thing, so, and again, I don't even know what that necessarily means per se anymore as far as what countries that all involves, but there's a lot of places on call when you've been in restaurants, a lot of places where you start getting to the end of your day, and it always invariably, some person will mention, hey, it's kind of slow right now, isn't it? Or, oh, have we had any calls yet? Or anything along those lines, and typically people go, jinx, knock on wood, throw salt over it, you got all these crazy jinx things you can do, right? But it's just funny how that kind of plays out, right? Like, all it takes is just the thought, bringing it up, the energy put towards it. Like, it's been chill and mellow. And instead of just enjoying the fact that it's been chill and mellow, you have to actually verbally go, hey, we haven't had any calls. Now, I will also mention this, by the way. When you've thought the thought but didn't say anything, sometimes you can still keep it from happening. It's when you almost go and say, hey, have we got any calls today? It's been quiet. Boom. Bring. Why did you have to say something? Again, funny how manifestation works. It shows up in weird random places where we sometimes like make up little, hey, don't jinx me, knock on wood, all the little things that we'll do sometimes because if someone says something all of a sudden, right? Just saying. All right, so be specific. It's been coming up a couple times lately, I guess, for a long time. I think this is a major thing with law of attraction for a lot of people, especially when you're first getting into it, right? You're trying to create these imaginary scenes, and for the most part, I think that's where most of us are at, right? We're trying to create these imaginary scenes, and a lot of us are thinking this imaginary scene represents more than it does. And what I mean by that means that because X happened, obviously that means we're together, or that means we're in a relationship, or that means things are very far along, or that means we're obviously married, and what I've found is there's a lot of times where people are not being very specific, and they think they are, and this is no slam on anybody at all, but a lot of times we think we're being very specific about a situation. We think that this implies a lot more. Now, before I get into some good specifics on what to do and what not to do, I kind of want to mention another aspect that seems to happen as well. And I hear a lot of people kind of personify the universe, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay for the most part, kind of thinking of it that way. I really think the universe, when I use it, is either source, like as creator, right? Or our higher self, which was given to us by creator. So still acknowledging that same energy. But it's still kind of that sort of single source of energy that's providing things to us. But what I think a lot of people try to do is they go, okay, well, it knows what I mean. Or I didn't say it specifically, but come on, universe knows what I'm trying to do. Yeah, but part of what we're learning here isn't so much the gift of the manifestation. That is not the lesson. The fact that you can make something happen in your life, that is the lesson. Not having John be back in your life, or not having Sue be your girlfriend again. Not the lesson. What these things are the catalyst that's helping you learn the lesson. And the lesson is learning to control our thoughts, learning to focus our energy, our thoughts, our words, our deeds, and our feelings towards a certain outcome. And we've come up with some really cool, nifty little tricks and tools and things that you can use to try to help manifest your desires. But that is the lesson, is the manifesting process, the process where we have control over what we experience. That's the takeaway. That's the huge, hey, pat on the back. You figured that out. That's awesome. Woo! It is not the end result. The end result's great and groovy and wonderful, but that is what got you attracted to this principle. Do you understand? That is what was the shiny thing to get your attention to go down this path, where you learn an extremely valuable, powerful concept that can be used anywhere. So universe doesn't care what you mean. Universe is more concerned about what are you vibrating and what are you thinking about. That's what matters. It's just an issue of it gives you what you're vibrating and thinking about. It is not a person. It's not going to cheat for you. It's not going to give you something even though that's not what you asked for, but it knows that's what you want. Yeah, it knows what you want, and it wishes you would figure out that you need to ask for it vibrationally instead of being scared that you're not good enough vibrationally or thinking, it's too much for me. I can't reach that vibrationally, or he's with someone else vibrationally, or I'm angry at him vibrationally. All of these things affect what you're trying to manifest. All of these things are what you're communicating to higher self or source or universe or whatever. Really, whatever. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. It's still a sweet-smelling, beautiful thing that provides a mechanism for our thoughts to become reality. Now, whether or not we like that or don't like that, it doesn't matter. That's how it is. That's why they call it a law. Laws are things that are irrefutable. Now, the 12 spiritual laws are basically spiritual, so they're impossible to prove, pretty much. But they're one of those things that you kind of prove on your own. But there are laws of physics, for example. There's Newton's laws. There's Kepler's laws. There's a few different laws out there, right? So there are laws, and laws are things that have been proven to exist and be true. So universe is trying to help us understand the power of our thoughts. So what I'm saying all this for is the concept of being specific in our manifestations. Examples of things that are far, far cries. And I know a lot of people do it, and it's not a criticism. Please know that right off the bat. Please understand that you need to expand what you're trying to manifest. Manifest what you're after. And these, I think, things oftentimes are the what do we call these? The small steps, the hows. These are some of the how-tos or some of the things that are going to happen to get you to your final place. But examples such as having dinner together. Manifesting a dinner. Now, again, if you've never gone out with this person, all right, cool, that's a first date. That's great. That is great. You've manifested a first date. Please understand that's what you've manifested. It's a first date. That doesn't mean that you're together. It doesn't mean that you're a boyfriend and girlfriend. It doesn't mean anything. You've manifested a date. Universe gave you that date. A lot of things can happen during the date. A lot of things can unfold during that date. A lot of things might be desired after that first date, maybe by both parties. There's a lot of open-ended aspects, aren't there? I've manifested a first date. Great. What does that mean? What are you hoping to accomplish by this first date? Are you hoping it leads into a relationship? Well, then let's manifest a relationship. Because in order for a relationship to happen, you're going to have to go on a first date. Don't worry about the first date. Let it happen on its own. Manifest the relationship. Manifest something a little more serious where maybe you're picking out a home together. Maybe it's that concept of them walking down the aisle. Marriage can be an extreme one for a lot of people, so maybe that's a lot. Maybe it's an issue of maybe moving in together, because that's pretty symbolic of a stronger unity. Now, granted, there can be exceptions to that as well, but you're definitely in a better playing field. And let me take a couple steps back and explain kind of what I mean, just using this small example. Manifesting a dinner can be great. I manifested a dinner with somebody. We go out to dinner, and this has happened. I've gotten emails like this, so this is why I'm bringing this up. I manifested dinner, right? And then the dinner happens, and we both go our merry ways. Maybe I get a hug, whatever. And this guy never contacts me again. You manifested exactly what you were trying to manifest. You got it exactly. That's a success. That's a success. Oh, but I meant I wanted to be in a relationship. You did not say that. What you meant doesn't matter. What you're saying, what you're imagining does. What do you mean? If what you're imagining is not what you mean, then work on what you're imagining. We've talked about the slide thing, I don't know, a few shows back. Try to brighten it up. Try to clean it up. Try to clear it up. Try to add more to it, or think further down the road and come up with a new scene. Because I've seen this backfire. Text message. Trying to manifest a text message. Okay. Bling. All right, now what? Now I'm never going to talk to you again. You got your text message, and it was in anger. I hate you. Bling. Counts. That's my point. And I'm not trying to put that energy out there, but it's an example of it's a text message. You got a text message from him or her telling you, never text me again. It counts. What are you trying to create? What do you mean? What do you want from this text message? What are you hoping to get? Are you just trying to get them to communicate with you? Again, think further down the road. You're looking further down the road. And if you're trying to micromanage these little mini things because for some reason I'm upset that I haven't heard from them yet, but really I'm trying to manifest a relationship and I'm freaking out about a text. So now I'm getting angry that I haven't gotten a text back. Now my energy sucks. And now that's what I'm sending to him because I'm thinking about him and I've got a thought transmission / thought bridge going on right now that is bad energy. All because I want a text message. Really? Like something that small in the big picture. Yeah, so maybe you can't manifest a text message right now. Maybe there's a bunch of reasons why you can't. Maybe there's not. Maybe there's one right now where he's just grumpy. She's grumpy. Whatever. Whatever it is right now why you're not getting a text message, who cares? Worry about the big picture. Stop focusing on what's not good right now and worry about where we're trying to go. And being upset because I'm not micromanaging in this and getting my little micromanaged thing just puts us in a bad energy. It's not that it doesn't work. It's created a funk within you, and now that's what universe is giving you, source is giving you, what you're vibrating at. And you're letting something silly jack your vibration. And really, text messages don't matter. They could text you tomorrow. It could be the most beautiful, wonderful text. And then they could go 5 years without texting you again. Or they could go 4 months without texting you. And then all of a sudden they show up at your doorstep. And right before they knock on the door, they hit send just to laugh. Like you're like, bling. And you're like, knock, knock, knock. Eh, how weird is that? It's, huh. And you open the door and whoa, right? And then you get to text her every day for the rest of your life. So nothing means anything down the road. Nothing right now means anything. What does this mean? I don't know, nothing. You tell me. If you think it means something, then that's what it means. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything. What are we trying to create? What are we trying to do? What do we mean in our concepts? Tell them to say hi to me. I want them to just like look at me at work and just go, hi. Okay. So you're like washing your hands in the sink or washing your silverware off and someone's talking to him next to you and you're like, oh my God, he's talking to me. I hope he says hi. And they kind of bump him and he sort of hits you and you sort of spill and make a mess and he looks at you and he goes, hi, sorry about that. Well, there you go. There you go. Got your hi. Good job. Good on you. Doesn't necessarily mean you got anything. What are you trying to do? In the case of the dude at work saying hi, what do you want? You want to go out on a date? Again, at least that's a further step than him saying hi. Much further. At least you've got a date. Gosh, at least think that. I hope I go out on a date with the guy. I imagine myself at dinner with him. All right. He'll probably bump into you and say, hi. Oh, hey, how are you? Oh my gosh, you work over in the something or other department. And you're like, no way. Like, oh my God, I didn't realize you knew that. That's so crazy. Right? So however it plays out, it will play out. Don't micromanage. Stop it. You don't necessarily know the quickest path between you and them. You know what you want, but you have no idea who they are really, right? And even if you think you do, they're changing because we're apart right now, aren't we? So we're changing, we hope. So don't micromanage. Let it happen. See the big picture. What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to do? Stop all the mini minutia beforehand. Stop all the little things. Stop worrying about it. Living in the end, sure, it'd be great when we can go to here at the cafe. Oh my gosh, I can totally see us here. We're going to be kicking the ball with the kids over here. That's going to be a lot of fun. Right? That's great. That's fantastic. Those are all the cool little things way out, which imply, again, what do you mean? If you're one of these people living in the end and you're imagining going to all those restaurants, but right now you're trying to get them to text you, or right now you're trying to get them to go on a date with you, well, you're missing the boat. You're living way out here in the end, but you're trying to manifest something silly. Maybe you don't need the first date. Maybe you guys are going to bump into each other, and then you're going to go like maybe straight and go see a movie, or maybe, who knows? Maybe you're like bump into each other, and you're like, yeah, you want to go for a walk on the beach? And okay, would that not be better than a date or a movie or something? Because when you're thinking date, you're thinking restaurant probably, right? You're thinking, right? Whatever. Let's not restrict it. What do we want to experience? That's what we're manifesting. That's what we're trying to do. And again, to circle back around, higher self wants you to realize we have this control. This is us. We can do all of these things. This is one of the brilliant, beautiful parts about being alive here on planet Earth. It's so wonderful to experience this place because it's a playground. And we can pretty much do whatever we want. A lot of people are going to argue with this. I don't want to go too far down the track, but we can do quite a lot of things to our own liking pretty much. And for the most part, we can do a lot of stuff without really affecting other people or hurting them. Granted, there's places where that gets astray, but yes, it's a pretty wonderful place. So we're all trying to learn some very valuable lessons. Universe does not care. It gives you exactly what you ask for. It doesn't decide anything. It doesn't care to decide to begin with. It doesn't have an opinion one way or the other. That's something we do. Higher self, 6th dimension at least. Okay? Totally doesn't matter. This is very low-level stuff where you're like, it's bad, it's good, it's left, it's right. Higher self's just like, it's a direction. It's where you're going. You're going that way. Do I turn left? Well, you're going to walk down that street, certainly. It depends what direction you're facing as far as which way you're turning, right? I mean, really, you're going to go down that street. That's the direction. Is it left or right? I don't know. Go down that street. Go down there. Let me point, Well, it's left. I don't know. Turn the other way and face me. Well, it's right. Oh, no, it's everywhere. See? Who cares? It's that way. It's one of the beautiful things about this whole process. I hope this made sense. I have no idea what I'm going to call this. I have no idea what thumbnail I'll put on this that'll sell this concept. I honestly think this is one of the most important things to truly understand what we're trying to manifest. So we'll see. Hopefully, I finally nailed it down, right? There's my attempt to throw that little positive spin on it. A little powdered sugar on a turd. Ooh, yeah. That's a nice looking turd. Thank you very much. All right, going to be going out with a cool song by